All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 9. So, thank you very much for coming back to the Girlfriends Experience. Before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and make sure to give us a review if you're listening on any other platform. How you doing, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This has been a week.
It was since Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was over it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're ready to have fun today. So, what we got?
Yes, so we are excited to get into it. We have a special guest today. We have Miss Tyler Chanel. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are good. So excited to have you. I feel like we're coast to coast now.
I know.
Because she's on the West Coast, guys.
West Coast, represent for the dubs up. Not to throw it up.
Yes. So we like to start off by playing a game just to get to know you, warm up. So this week we're going to do this or that.
Mm-hmm.
So super easy. So we'll start off slow pitch. Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
I love that you said Hulu. Same. Honestly, I feel like Hulu has a lot of like hidden gems, but also a lot of throwbacks. So if you are like 90s kid, Hulu has everything. We
Really?
watch Hang with Mr. Cooper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neither. I don't watch either. I mean, every now and then I watch Netflix, but that was only for Bridgerton, and now it's canceled in my mind since Ray J. John's not coming back. So I don't really watch TV.
I'm super sad about that.
So
actually.
I watch stuff, but it's not illegal. I got a plug that helps me out on that.
I think I'm going to cancel Netflix, and I never thought I would say that just because I'm always on Hulu. Like, Hulu is where all the gems are right now.
Yes.
Okay. So you might have to find a free promo code if somebody's logging. Maybe I'll check it out.
All right. I got you, friend. It's fine.
Okay. Beach or camping trip?
Ooh.
I know, right?
I'm going to go camping trip. Although I never have been camping, but I just don't love the beach, which is weird because I'm in LA, but I don't love the beach. So camping, but I might change my mind if I actually go camping.
Is it real camping or glamping?
Probably, maybe glamping would be an
There
option.
we are. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I beach. I can't really see myself outdoors. Even if it's glamping, I can't. You know, I told you that I'm not naturey. I try to be, but I'm not. Even the beach is a lot with the birds.
Oh my God.
I don't like birds. So the beach can be a lot, but and I stay to the edge of the water, but at least I know I'm expected to see sand, water, and maybe some random seaweed. Camping, you don't know what you might come into.
That's true. Yogi gonna be out there.
See? It's that. Yogi, the wolves, more birds.
Oh my God. So I am a beach girl. As soon as it gets a little bit warm, let it be 70 anything. I'm like, you trying to go to the beach or we out there? Because it's just so calming. Even to just sit there and do nothing, listening to the waves you can't beat it. It's just super chill. And then I can get food while I listen to it's everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything I need all in one place.
2 more months, right? Yeah, 2 more months.
And then we in there.
Now, you just said you don't like the beach, but do you go to the beach sometimes?
Yes, I do go to the beach. I don't like getting in the water. I'm always cold, so I feel like the water's cold. If I could just sit like near the beach and look at the water, I like that. But like I hate the feeling of sand on my toes. Like
You know what? That is fair.
That makes sense.
But you want to know what? So like we went down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. The water is so warm. So it's almost kind of weird because it's like being in warm bath water. But also you never, even at night, you don't get cold because the water stays warm. So it's way better than East Coast water. Just saying.
See,
I think
maybe
anywhere.
That's a problem. I need to just change my beaches because the Pacific Ocean's cold. So maybe I need to like go check out Myrtle Beach, and I might change my mind. So
rock your world.
That to be determined.
We'll check back in.
Okay, so money I guess we'll say it this way. Do you value money or free time?
Oh man. Right now I would say money.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like especially like while you're on the younger side, you kind of have to prioritize money now.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need the free time later. When I'm old, I want to be able to mind my business. I don't want to be talking to nobody. I don't want to be working. I want to make sure that I'm set.
Yeah.
I do love free time. I love doing nothing. That's my favorite pastime. But yeah, definitely money right now.
I'm gonna say money only because when I get free time, I don't know what to do with myself.
That's
and
true.
I feel very weird.
Same.
So I'm used to being busy and constantly moving. So when I sit still, I don't like it. It makes me very anxious. So only because mentally, I don't think I can handle free time. I like to make money. So
we're gonna have to talk about that. That's fine.
Therapy.
All right. The last one is super important.
Yeah. Okay. But not judging, but judging. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Oh, NSYNC, 100%.
That's so good.
This show is over.
We were doing so good.
You're like, bye, kick her out.
Well, guys, thank you for showing up for episode 9. This has been great.
I mean, I love the Backstreet Boys, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I know more NSYNC songs, and I definitely, right now, I'd rather listen to an NSYNC song than a Backstreet Boy throwback.
You know
Did
what?
that make it worse? It didn't help.
I mean, it probably did because we be listening to the new Backstreet Boys.
Sure do. I got it.
I was just listening to DNA.
Yeah. I got it on vinyl. Why? I don't know, but I do. just because I could. I mean, I get it.
I do get it.
However, we're recording. I don't want to catch anything saying that we agree with anything that this is in sync. So no, Backstreet Boys all day.
Every day.
Till we dissolve.
Fine. We'll accept it though.
Yeah. So our what's poppin' topic is not as, I don't even know what the word.
Not as fun.
Not as fun as exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. It's just we're just talking about the passing of DMX, and I think as a millennial, as a '90s kid, it just hurts. Like I just don't know. Like even like driving here today, I'm just like listening to the words. They mean something different now.
Yeah.
Like I was just like I don't even know how to feel like about this one. I feel like the same way like when MJ died, Kobe died. I'm just like it's too much.
I know, and it's so many greats in such a short period of time too. And I think also the other thing that keeps coming back up, like the interviews and things that he did, to see how much he overcame, because he's had a hard life, like since 14 to be drug addicted, but to still be able to like, yeah, he was troubled. Lots of people are, but he still did a lot of great things for the culture. And it's sad. 50 is not old by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
So to think like, shoot, I mean, we're in our 30s now.
I did the math earlier. I was proud of myself in my head. It's only a 17-year difference.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's like when we were born, you were only in high school. Just to think about that. Like if there was never to be anything else and we only knew like, oh, when he was 17, that's not long at all. Nothing. Then like life is just fragile. So were you a DMX fan at all?
No, but I have been, like, my fiance is really big into music and stuff, and he was telling me everything and keeping me updated with the news, and it's just sad because he was so young and he had, you know, he was a legend. So I've been seeing all the posts about the impact he's made on people, and it's sad because, like you said, with Kobe, MJ, all of these people who did a lot for the culture, it's just like, you know, it's going to happen one day, but when it happens, and his was such a tragic.
I know. Yeah, it was like compounding. Like he went and he was admitted the heart attack, and then like, oh my God, he has COVID, and then that's just, it's already a lot.
And like oddly enough, I was like, he's gonna pull it through. It's DMX
because we always want to be hopeful.
Right? It was like it's DMX. It's kind of happened before, so he's gonna pull it through, and it's just like, oh. No, okay, not this time. All right, well, how do we handle this? And then, you know, with social media and then how people think they're honoring them by adding them to the mural, it's like, okay, these pictures, adding them, like, oh, finally reunited with Aaliyah. Like, now I got to relive Aaliyah. And it's just like, all right.
That is true.
Let's pull up, let's ease into this. You know, I think some people, it's a trend right now, and it's just like, relax. Let us, in a way, even though we never met him, we're still mourning.
Of course.
You know.
Of course.
Someone great. So. RIP DMX. This is a rough one.
I know. Yeah. So, I mean, we're definitely sad about that, but we are going to get into why Tyler is here today, because she has a lot of awesome things to share with us, and I'm super excited about this because low-key, I'm kind of a nature geek.
She is.
So we actually brought Tyler in to talk about sustainable fashion. So in case you guys do not know, Earth Day is coming up, but it'll be the week that we are recording for this. So Earth Day is on April 22nd. And I think this is the 51st time that they are celebrating. Don't quote me. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the comments.
I started loving Earth Day because you did. I didn't know. I just knew it.
I feel like it's a day where we can like figure out how to actually honor and respect the earth, right? So we take, but at least this is one time a year where you can think about giving back and putting something back into the resources that we keep depleting. So one of the reasons that I wanted to kind of talk about sustainable fashion is because I think sometimes when people think about things like Earth Day and recycling, it kind of is a boring topic to them. So I think that when you can partner things like fashion with also facts, that helps people to be like, oh, well, there are things that I can do. And also, I mean, I think it's exciting too, because I'm very curious, not to get too political, but to see if the Biden administration is going to put more money back into the EPA, just because when we talk about things that got defunded during the last era that we've been living through, they defunded the EPA. People are up in arms because they're talking about defunding the police. No, how about the Environmental Protection Agency? Because that is also important and they do so much. So to be taking away from their resources is absolutely insane. But I'm going to get off of my soapbox and let Tyler tell us a little bit about sustainable fashion. So can we talk about first, can you help people to explain what exactly is sustainable fashion for those people who may not know what that means?
Yeah, of course. So sustainability can mean a lot of things to different people. For me, I like to say ethical fashion is a fashion that is conscious of how it affects people and the planet. So usually sustainable fashion can be focused on the planet, but it doesn't really include people, meaning the workers who create the fashion may not have been paid fair wages. So you can be sustainable, but not also ethical. But I like to kind of like encompass it all, because I feel like, are you really sustainable if you're not treating people fairly as well, you know, and upholding the communities? Like that's not sustainable. So that's that. But the difference is there's sustainable fashion and then there's fast fashion. So fast fashion are your companies like H&M, Zara, Forever 21, all the companies that are creating fashion at a very fast pace and trying to come out with trends constantly. Like I used to shop fast fashion all the time. And I remember I would get emails from Forever 21 almost like every other day where it was like, we just uploaded 1,000 new items, you know? And I would be scrolling through the 1,000 items thinking I needed something. I never would buy it. But it's just fast fashion is, it's very wasteful. It's made, it's very inexpensive. Like you could get a t-shirt for like $7, but when you think about it, the person who made that t-shirt, how much did they get paid if they're able to sell it for $7? They were not getting paid a livable wage. And then the prices are also able to be super cheap with fast fashion because they are cutting corners. They are polluting the environment. They are using chemical dyes. Like there's a documentary I love. It's called The River Blue, and it talks about the environmental impact of fashion on the planet and on the water sources specifically. And there's a river in China. I cannot think of the name of the river, but it's where all of the fast fashion companies' factories are located, and they basically illegally dump into this river. And the river is the primary source of drinking water for a lot of people in these communities that are primarily, you know, Black and brown communities. But anyways, in the documentary, the people who live there say they know what the it color of the year is going to be with fashion when they look at what color the river is. If the river is not pink, that means pink is the color of the year. And that's very disturbing. I think a lot of us are just, we're detached from that. We have no idea when we buy our little $7 cute shirt, like, you know, who was affected by this. And then there's another documentary called The True Cost that's really good. It's a really good intro into sustainable fashion. And that The True Cost talks about how the fast fashion companies impact people and how they exploit workers. And it dives into, there was a factory collapse in, I want to say it was in Bangladesh, like 2014 maybe, and it killed thousands of garment workers. And it was a factory that was making clothes for fast fashion brands. And there's just the disconnect. Like we don't realize the true cost of our clothing. Like there's a reason our clothing is super inexpensive. So sustainable fashion, it tries to be a little bit better. There's still stuff that it still needs to, there's still stuff with like lack of diversity. Like there's still problems within the sustainable fashion space. But if you are looking to maybe dive into having a wardrobe that is more sustainable, I have a resource on my blog. It's called my blog is Thrifts and Tangles, but I have an ethical brand directory that has a lot of great brands that are affordable and sustainable, and I list like their ethics. And then thrifting, I love thrifting. Thrifting is one of the most sustainable ways you can shop. So I like the idea of sustainable fashion companies, but most of my fashion is from thrift stores, and that's sustainable because you're extending the lifespan of a garment. So it's giving an item new life so it doesn't end up in the landfill. And yeah, it's just great. Also, clothing swaps are a really good way to update your wardrobe too. That's a sustainable way. So sustainable fashion doesn't have to be like you're buying from, because some ethical fashion companies are like $200 for a shirt, you know, and it's because people are getting paid fairly, but it's like, not everyone can afford that.
Right.
That's not accessible. Yeah.
No, that's a really, really good point. And sometimes my friends and I do the clothes swaps where we'll all just bring things that either maybe we're not interested in anymore, or we notice like, look, I don't really wear this, so maybe one of you guys want it, and then we'll all just bring what we have, but we kind of turn it into like a little party. So we drink, we eat, swap clothes, anything that we don't actually wear, then we drop it off at one of like the thrift stores here, so that way it can still be upcycled, reused somewhere else by someone else, and it gives us space in our closet because we don't want to talk about how much we buy things. It's probably too much. And sustainable fashion is probably one of those things that would be useful for people who are constantly buying clothes and thinking about the resources that we're actually taking from the earth. So how did you actually get started? It sounds like you know a lot about sustainable fashion and ethical fashion. What even made you be interested in this?
So first of all, I told you I was shopping those 1,000 new items Forever 21 all the time. Like I was addicted to online shopping when I was in high school. Like it was a problem. And then my mom was always into thrift shopping. She used to take me thrifting all the time when I was little. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. Like I just kind of went like, this is an errand I had to go run with my mom. But when I was, I think, senior year of high school, a Savers thrift store opened down the street from my house, and it was like literally 5 minutes away from the house. So my mom and I would go there all the time, and I realized like when I was in high school, I spent all this money at the mall, going to the mall every week like I was a mall rat. And I never got compliments on my outfits when I was shopping at the mall, like ever. But when I started shopping at the thrift store and my whole outfit was like $10, everyone's like, wow, where'd you get that? So I was like, okay, I'm dressing better because I was able to afford like higher end pieces, or buy higher end pieces through thrifting, you know? And so that made me fall in love with like thrift shopping in general. And then after so I was getting pretty much the majority of my wardrobe from the thrift store, but I was still buying things like socks and underwear and like stuff you don't really want to get secondhand if you don't feel comfortable with that. I was still going to like H&M and all that stuff to get those items. So after I watched the True Cost documentary and realized how like my $5 underwear is from Charlotte Russe or whatever, it's impacting people and the planet, I said, okay, no more. If I ever buy anything that I can't get thrifted, I'm going to buy it from a sustainable fashion company. So I fell into like, I feel like I always say if you dip your toe into sustainability, like the water's nice, you know, like you won't want to get out. You dip your toe in and then you want to get in a little bit more. And that's how it is. Like once you learn about all of the problems with fast fashion, it's hard to unlearn that. And you can either, you have to check in with your morals and check in with yourself. And you have to say like, okay, am I going to continue supporting this industry that is doing all this bad to the world, which a lot of industries are, right? And shopping sustainable fashion is not going to fix the world. Like it's not going to fix all the problems, but at least it's a small step you can take to make it feel like you're making a positive change.
Completely.
That definitely, even thinking about it, like listening, because again, I'm observing because I'm learning to do it because I'm the type of person like, oh, okay, I'll go here. I always wanted to go thrifting, but like I'm just like, but how do you, I'm the type of, I need to try stuff on. And it's like, so how do I go about trying stuff on in like a thrift store? And so I'm like, I guess that's my next question. Might be jumping ahead, but it's like, so what would you say would be like the tips as far as somebody brand new to this? How can you even get into it? Because you got me, we're only 20 minutes in and I'm just like, oh, maybe this is my calling. Like, do tell me, like, how does one get into it? And I did skip ahead, sorry. No. But because I think it's important for somebody coming in totally blind to it. Like, what would you say would be some good tips as far as just starting off thrifting? Because now I was like, I want to swap clothes too, but let's thrift first.
Yes. I think thrifting is a great way to start. And thrift stores have fitting rooms. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they literally have fitting rooms like a normal store, so you can try on the items. And I know some people are weirded out about trying on the items because they're not clean first, but if you just like, I have a go-to thrifters outfit, which I think is a tip. If you go to the thrift store, wear something that you can easily throw something on over, and like you can still keep your clothes on, so you have some kind of protection from the item that you're putting on. But yeah, so I would say try everything on before you buy it, because you don't want to be stuck with anything that doesn't fit nicely. Some thrift stores have really strict return policies where it's final sale, or you can only get store credit. So just make sure you try things on. I think you really need to know your style before going to the thrift store, because going into the thrift store can be really overwhelming. There's a lot of clothes. It's not like when you go to the mall where things are organized, and some thrift stores are organized, but like it's all like one item, all the like, no, you don't know what you're going to find at the thrift store. So if you know your style, you at least can know what kind of pieces you gravitate towards. So if you like floral prints, when you're going through the thrift store, instead of digging through the rack of clothing, you can just kind of walk down and eyeball, like, okay, do I see a floral print? So I think that really helps, like knowing what textures, patterns, fabrics you like. Give yourself time to look. Like I always say, give yourself at least an hour
we need
to
patience.
Look around.
Yes.
Bring a friend with you. Because two people, like both of you could go to the thrift store together.
That's like, well.
And 2 eyes, or I guess 4 eyes are better than one, right? So it, that really helps. And then I would say look on Yelp, because you need to go to the top rated thrift stores in your area to start. Because if you go to a thrift store that you just see on the street and you don't find anything, you might give up on thrifting. Like, but if you go to the thrift stores that have a 4-star ranking, a 5-star ranking, those are the ones that people love. So it's probably going to be more organized. It'll probably be less overwhelming, and you already know they have good stuff because it has a high ranking.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. I think that was partially my problem. One, I didn't know they had fitting rooms, because I went with my grandma maybe a few times, and even my daughter's great grandmother, and we literally went there for plates and like other stuff, and I'm just like, I'm good. So, and then I think also needing to have like the patience, like, because again, like we're used to going into, like you said, the fast fashion stores where it's like, okay, there's jeans, there's my size, blue, got it, ready to go. So, okay, patience. Okay. No, but those are all awesome tips. Again, somebody coming in clueless.
Yeah.
It can be very overwhelming, like you said, seeing everything everywhere. So, okay, friend,
and Yelp. So I do agree, because I do go. I haven't been thrifting in a while, but I do like to go thrifting. And I think one of the things that you have to, besides trying on clothes, first of all, we try on clothes in the fitting room, but also like blazers and things. I try that on in the aisle. I'm taking it off the hanger and I'm just throwing it on, like, does this fit? And then you do a little, see how you feel. If it makes you feel good, then get it.
Okay.
And also, I feel like once you actually do try it on, it's you're not in that space where, sometimes when you're at the regular store, you try something on, you're like, let me just try this at home and see. No, if I don't like it, it stays here. Okay. So I don't wind up buying things that I don't need to buy, because if I don't love it, it is staying right where it is. Someone else will love it. And also, for me, I know at least the thrift store that we go to, it does have a lot of really nice pieces, but I feel like thrift stores do have a distinct, like, smell, like old people, not to be rude, but it kind of smells like, it's not going to smell like JCPenney's.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this is a hodgepodge probably of everyone's homes in this one place, but everything that you get, you wash it. You get it, you wash it, boom, it's cool. And honestly, I feel like too, one of the reasons that you get so many compliments on things that come from thrift stores are because it's not off the rack. So you have to be creative when you create the outfits, because when you go, you're like, girl, where'd you get that from? Don't worry about it, because I got it from the thrift store. And you're not going to be able to just go and buy this thing on the rack at H&M where there were 25 of them. No, I don't want
like
the
that
same.
Aspect of it.
Yes.
I do like that.
And it taps into your creativity too, in terms of actually finding things, because sometimes I find things at the thrift store and I'm like, oh, is this what they sell outside of the junior section? Because sometimes you be missing out if you don't go into the other sections of the stores, and the prints and stuff, fire. Okay. Yeah.
So also I need to get out of wearing all black.
First of all, yes. Give a little zhuzh color in your life.
Well, I'm gonna try. Now just thinking about it, I'm like, well, I guess I remember when my daughter was younger, we used to go to those big, I don't know what they call them, but like the second chance stores around here. Oh, yeah. And they would just like, it would be in a school auditorium and then by different sides. And we were there in line early. So I guess I have been kind of thrifting, just not for me. Okay. I'm good. We're on the same page. I just had to put myself in, like, I myself haven't, found anything for me, but like in a sense, I kind of did it for my kid.
Yes.
Well, look at me helping the environment early.
The one tip I want to throw in there too is if something catches your eye, grab it. Even if you're iffy about it, you're not sure, because if you don't grab it and you think about it later, like 20 minutes later, you might be like, where was that item? First of all, the thrift store, you're not going to find it because there's so many racks. But then you might see someone else with the item and it's like, oh man, they got it. So if you even think you might like it, like if there's a slight thought of like, this looks like a piece I might like, you need to grab it and hold on to it.
Yes. You have to treat it like Home Goods. When you go in Home Goods, you know how there's only going to be one. Yeah. So if you want this, you better put it in your cart and then make
square up with the old lady real quick. Like, look. Stop. I literally saw this right here.
So I also noticed on your page, it does say that you do modeling, because I told you, we looked at your page and we absolutely love it. It's so curated. It's so cute. So do you also put your sustainable and ethical fashion into the modeling that you do, or are those kind of two separate avenues? I just want to know like how you're incorporating everything.
Yeah, of course. So when I first started modeling, 2012, I think. And I modeled for a fast fashion boutique in Vegas. And I did that for a while. This was before I was into like sustainability and thrifting and all that stuff. But I literally, some of the models who modeled with me, they got signed to really big agencies in LA. And that's when I started watching True Cost and really talking about how bad fast fashion was on my platforms and all of these things. But the models who used to model with me, they were all over Forever 21's website and they were getting booked for like H&M and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I really want to model. And my goal was to get signed to a larger agency. But I was like, how can I have this platform called Thrifts and Tangles where I'm actively calling out fast fashion companies, but then work as a model for fast fashion companies and make money from fast fashion? Right. So I was really conflicted and I thought I was going to have to quit modeling. But then I worked with a photographer in Vegas and he introduced me to a lady. Her name was Andrea Bonelli, and she was a sustainable jewelry company and she made sustainable like wedding rings, engagement rings, all this stuff. Actually, I have a ring right now. I got engaged. So the ring is from her.
Congrats!
So I started working with her and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm able to still model. It was just hand modeling, but I was still able to model, but work with companies that were ethical. And I said, okay, there's ethical companies, obviously. They have websites. They need models. So I did some research and I saw that in LA, there's an ethical modeling agency called Role Models Management. And their whole thing is they want to have their models be able to work with brands that align with their values. And a lot of their models are vegan, they're sustainable, like they care about a cause, and so they connect them with brands with a cause. So I applied to that agency and I got signed with them, and that's why I'm actually from Vegas originally, and then I moved to LA because I got signed to the agency. So because I now work with Role Models Management, I'm able to solely work as a model for brands that are doing good for people in the planet. So I never thought, because I'm like, what the heck is an ethical modeling agency? That doesn't exist. And they're like, I think they're like the only one in the world. There might be two in the world. Like there's not a lot of them, but I'm really happy I'm able to stay true to my values and still do the modeling thing. I think that's a lot of fun.
I think that is awesome because when you're able to do the collaboration and it's still based in like your moral premise and values, but also you get to do something that you love, you can't really ask for a better collab than that. So in what you do in sustainable and ethical fashion, how do you partner with other people while you're doing some of those things? Like, are there other, like, I know, for instance, sorry, for other like podcasts and stuff, like we collaborate a lot. Do you collaborate with a lot of other people so that you can kind of like get the word and your messaging and things like that out there?
Yeah, so oh my goodness, I love social media. Like some of my closest friends are through people who slid in my DMs on Instagram. But I feel like I've met such an amazing community of women who care about thrifting and sustainability. And so back before everything closed due to the pandemic, the some of my friends who are into thrifting, some other thrift bloggers, we would have thrifting meetups where it would be like 5 of us thrift bloggers. We would invite our community to come thrifting with us and kind of get together and do that with, it was just a fun day of like thrifting, and then we would get food and go thrifting. Like it was an all day event. So we do that. I went live with some sustainable bloggers yesterday, and we talked about upcycling. And I think this community really thrives from collaboration. So, and the thrifting community, I know sometimes like fashion and fashion blogging, like it seems very competitive and maybe it's not so collaborative, but the thrifting and sustainability space, everyone I've met has been so supportive. And no matter what the following size is, whether they have 200,000 followers or like 1,000 followers, like I feel like there's not, I've had it in the fashion space where it's like, oh, you don't have enough followers, like we can't work together. But I've never experienced that in the sustainable fashion space.
That is awesome too, because I think that we do see that on social media where sometimes the bigger accounts snub smaller accounts, but I think that when you're all on the same page and you're collaborating towards the same goal, do the followers matter?
No,
and
especially not with like this kind of cause where you're saving the earth, and we're also, getting together as girls and just going shopping, that right there should be fun and speak volumes. But the fact that we're doing this and we're being fashionable and saving the planet at the same time, it kind of speaks like I would almost expect that community to kind of have a different mindset just because you're already so different from everyone else thinking the way that they think. So also like just hearing like confirmation, like, okay, there is a group out there and you guys do, that's awesome. I want to do that.
Shop because you do that. Well, too much.
I'm gonna be better at it. Now I'm just like, okay, when are we gonna have I'm serious, like when are we gonna have a thrifting day? We're gonna have to FaceTime me or something like that. What do you think about this? We're gonna have a virtual shopping date.
One thing I do want to say about sustainability too is like hearing about sustainable fashion, it's easy to feel like, oh, okay, now I have to go change just sustainability in general. Now I have to go buy all sustainable clothes, and it's still that same like consumerism mindset that becomes wasteful. So the most sustainable thing anyone can do is wear what you already have, play with the items in your wardrobe. But I'm all for thrifting too. Like go thrifting if you really want to get some new pieces.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Use what you have. I agree.
Because that's the real problem. I always feel like I have nothing to wear, even though I can't shut my drawers. And I'm like, I don't know why I always feel like I need more, but I do. Yeah.
Especially now, even with the pandemic, how we said before, like it's hard to put an outfit together just because we're so out of practice. So then it's like, well, I think I just need something because I don't have it here. And then it's like, no, you do. Just figure out what you want to wear. And I think, like you said before, knowing your style, I think that's what I'm trying to figure out these days. Like, what is my actual style? Get out of dressing like you're gothic and wearing black all day. And then you might be able to do it. So, okay.
Not to mention, we're taught retail therapy. Like everyone is like, oh, retail therapy. So you buy things to make yourself feel better instead of actually dealing with whatever you need to deal with or eating your feelings away. Because that's the other thing that goes a little left.
That's how I sustain.
No. When I first started thrifting, haul videos on YouTube are huge, right? And so that's what people love to watch. And so when I first started thrifting and started Thrifts and Tangles, I was doing haul videos on my channel like twice a month maybe, but when I went thrifting, I would go to the Goodwill Clearance Center. I would buy 50 pounds of clothes for $10 and I would go every other week. And so I was accumulating all of these clothes and I was like, oh, I'm thrifting, I'm sustainable. No, I was like still my crazy, like addicted to shopping self, but now I moved into thrifting and I was getting even more clothes because now I could afford to buy more clothes. And I realized, I actually read the Marie Kondo's The Art of Tidying Up book, and that changed my whole mindset. Like I woke up after I read that book, I was like, because she's talking about everything needs to bring joy and kind of like minimalism a little bit. And I looked at my closet and I was like, the amount of clothes I have brought into this house, like I was like, am I only buying it to film a haul video for like, or is this stuff I actually want? And so I was like, I need to get rid of this stuff because I'm not going to wear half of it. Like I thought it was cute in the moment, but like it didn't match my style. It wasn't practical. And so that's what led me to start having clothing swaps because I was like, I cannot just take, some of the items still had thrift store tags on it. I'm like, I can't just give this right back to the thrift store.
Right.
So I was like, okay, let me have clothing swaps. And I opened them to the community and stuff. But I think it really is like, you can still be very wasteful while shopping sustainable fashion if you have that retail therapy kind of mindset, which I feel like we all go through, and I don't know where that comes from.
Because everyone teaches us that it's how they're like, just like when you go to Target. So kind of how when we say, okay, we go to the thrift store, but you look for specific pieces because you never know what's going to be there. Kind of like when you go to Target and Home Goods. I don't know what I need from Home Goods. I have no idea what they even have in here today.
Stores set you up. Those end caps in Target, everything's clearance, and you see the yellow stickers. You're just like, oh,
it's on sale.
Discount. Or like how when I used to do couponing, I saved all this money, but I have shampoo I don't use in my hair. Okay, here's my thing. It just doesn't make sense, but it's because I can, and it's cheaper. So yeah, we get caught up a lot in it.
No,
absolutely,
we're gonna do better. So, do you have any special plans for Earth Day? Is there anything that you are going to be doing or promoting for that day? I still gotta figure out what I'm doing.
I don't know what my plans are for Earth Day. I didn't check my calendar, but I have Earth Month is like Christmas for the sustainable bloggers. Like there's all these collaborations coming in, and I have some calls with brands for like consulting them on sustainability and whatnot. But I have a little herb garden out here. It is not thriving right now, so I want to do my Earth Day, maybe like bringing this, making it thrive a little more, bringing it back to life, and spending some time outside is what I would like to do.
Me too. I definitely want to go outside. Maybe I can get Jen to go for a hike because she be playing. I know. A nice little nature walk never hurt anyone.
Have you not met me in my comfort
I know.
zone? I will fall somewhere, and we would need a medic finding us in the middle of the woods.
in the Brandy
I would get randomly bit by a spider that no one ever heard of, but it found me. So I'd like to stay where things are. I can see what you are. No,
it's fine.
I mean, I plan on using my straws a little bit better because, my daughter gets on me about using plastic straws. And so I bought a brand new set. I just have to wash them and use them.
Yeah.
So that will be my day where I'll just drink all of my drinks out of the reusable straws. And maybe
what kind of straws? Did you get the silicone or like the glass? What kind of straws were they?
I got the metal one.
I got the metal ones too.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I was like, oh man.
I was like, don't say plastic. Don't say plastic.
No, I got the metal ones with the little like bottles for all the cleaner and stuff. So I have, and they're in a nice little like reusable like sack, like recyclable sack that you can wash and everything.
Yes.
I was like, look, Amazon
growth.
Yes. Amazon, fine. I'm gonna try. So maybe I'll start that.
Yeah.
I don't have a green thumb whatsoever. Actually, my plant that my job sent me, I just realized was dead. I thought it was supposed to look like that. I was like, but I'm following directions. What's happening? No, it died.
Plants are not.
But I'm holding on to it just to see maybe if I can kind of try to bring it back to life in the summer. I think it's gone. I think I lost it. But
maybe I'll take a PTO day and get some vitamin D. Because why not? I think that would be
go for it.
I think that's a good use of Earth Day.
I'll get my windows up.
No, I need to be outside.
Yeah, you do that.
I need to be outside. It makes me feel better.
So to go back to the sustainable fashion, because I do want to learn this. How do you stay on top of the trends and find your looks? Because that to me, I go to Pinterest, but Pinterest doesn't look like the most sustainable kind of information I should be receiving. So every time I go on Pinterest, I'm like, oh, go to the store. So where do you get your inspiration? Like, do you find like your style is the same all the time, or does it change through season, through years, through months? How would you say that you keep up, or are you on your own trend? Do you even care about others? Like, what's on trend?
No, I think that's a great question. So I love Pinterest. I think Pinterest is a great place to like stay on top of the trends. What I try to do is I literally like I have all these bags next to me of stuff that I want to give to a clothing swap because I am going to try to have a capsule wardrobe because I realize that the past year I worn like the same like few pieces. Like I'm like I like blacks. Like I like blacks, but then I like really obnoxious floral prints. Those are like my contrast. And so I find that I like pieces that like I like ruffles and stuff, but I like pieces that are more basic. Like have a very basic minimal style. And then if I want to include a trend, I like to do it through accessories. So I don't know if you saw on Pinterest, they have those like super obnoxious like hair ties, hair scrunchies that are like jumbo size. Like, so I bought some of those and like I think it's, and I like little tassels and stuff. So I feel like I can add that to like through earrings and stuff.
Right.
But that way it's, if you do, first of all, it's cheaper to buy little accessories, I think, than buying like a trendy dress and stuff. And I found that when I buy super trendy pieces, especially thrifted, it ends up back at the thrift store or at a clothing swap. Like I don't wear it as often. So when I buy an item, I'm like, will I wear this at least 12 times?
Right.
If I won't, I'm not going to buy it.
That's a good mindset.
No, that is a good idea. And I think too, one of the things that I notice about like even when you show some of like your thrifting items on your page, I do see a lot of thrifters on Instagram and they do post outfits that are super cute, but also to your point about like practicability, I don't really think some of the outfits that I see are practical. Like I can't necessarily just wear this guy's shirt that's oversized as a dress outside to the park because everything's going to be out. Like it looks cute for a picture, but like in the real world, it doesn't necessarily work. So I think that is the thing that I enjoy about your page because the outfits actually makes like, oh, real life, someone wears this.
Right.
They didn't just put it on for a picture and then say like, hey, you can thrift too.
Right.
So no, that's the one thing that I definitely noticed and I definitely like, because I'm like, this makes sense.
Oh my, let me tell you, when I first started blogging, I was like, I don't wear heels ever, like unless I have to do like a modeling thing, but like I'd be out here with heels and like all these little outfits, like you said, that are like no one's wearing this in real life. You're wearing this for your photo and then changing into something comfortable. And that's why I was thrifting so much, because I was like, I need to, you know, you don't want to be seen in the same outfit on the gram of, you know, more than once. So it's like I felt like I always had to get these new outfits together, but it wasn't authentic to myself. Like if you saw me out on the street, I would not be wearing that. So I realized like, why am I working harder, not smarter? Like let me just take pictures of the outfits I wear in real life, and you could tell in the photos I look way more comfortable than the photos where I'm like trying to stay, like I cannot walk in heels. Like, who do I think I am? Like,
it's okay. We all look like Bambi sometimes after hours,
especially now because I've been nothing but slides and sneakers.
I know. Or no shoes, or because if I'm in the house, so what are we doing? Yeah, I don't even think I remember how to do that. I might have to practice before the world opens back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, this has definitely been helpful, at least for me.
Yes,
I know you got your entire life.
I did. I'm so
this is as a newbie.
I was talking to Jen. I'm like, I'm so excited about this episode.
And I was like, I'm just gonna be here to learn because I can't give much. Besides, I know I need to cut back on my spending and help the world. Look, so I have learned a lot. First step is admitting you have a problem. Yes. So thank you for this support group. And I definitely will do better. And I can't wait. This definitely is informative. I hope that, well, not even hope, I know that someone is going to learn a lot from this. And then hopefully one person can share the information with another, share information with another. And in 10 years, 20 years, we'll see a better planet, because right now it's a little scary. Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah. No, that is 100% true. And I saw a quote that said, inspire change through your actions. And I feel like that is exactly what this is. So if you want to make small changes, they could have a large impact eventually. So making little changes, not trying to just be like, oh, okay, I have to do this huge overhaul of everything that I wear and throw out everything else because it's not a part of the sustainability plan that you have. Right. No, continue to wear those things, but also just be conscious of future purchases. That's it. That's easy.
It is.
That's easy, guys. So hopefully you can do that and learn that. And we really, really appreciate Tyler being here and dropping all these gems. She's giving you guys so many tips for free. I just feel like hopefully y'all were listening, pen and paper. If not, play it back.
Play it back.
And get your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is get a little newsy here too. You know, Black folk love to talk. But when we love to talk and when we get newsy, it's normally about politics or something that's going on in the world where we feel like we need to, especially like this topic of talking about sustainable clothing, talking about what's going on in the news. That way we're caught up to speed and everyone knows what's going on. So,
yes.
Talk about this one?
Yeah.
So our newsy topic today is we're in Delaware. So the little tiny little state on the East Coast
that everybody forgets about.
Us. So we have today where a Wilmington, Delaware entrepreneur creates an app to support Black-owned businesses. So we're not only in the tech world, but we're also helping to support Black-owned businesses, which I think is so important, especially during these times where everyone's stuck indoors. So
yeah. So it's called National Black Guide LLC, and I actually checked it out, and it's super easy to use. So I know that there's a few, but of course we wanted to shout this one out because he is actually from Delaware. So it has everything on there. It has from like doctors, which sometimes I know that is super important, trying to find other Black doctors that are a part of the network and close by. And there's food plate, there's everything. So retail, doctors, definitely check it out, guys. Because we're definitely trying to support small business, Black business, women-owned business, all of that, all year long. And not to mention, we're getting close to Juneteenth. So I hope you guys have been doing that always and forever, but now apply some pressure. Right. Make sure that you're doing it and continue to support Black business, especially when people are making apps to make it easier for you to find.
Yeah, there's no excuse now.
Right.
You're on your phone anyway, scrolling on social media. Go ahead and check out this app.
We can combine.
Find your primary, because I'm about to be on here too.
Yes. Dennis, I was like, oh, come on.
Oh yeah, my
and he a cutie.
Yeah, see, girl,
we'll take that offline.
It makes you want to go to the doctor more when the doctor looks like you want, and you kind of like, yeah, I don't feel well right here. I'm just here.
Just saying, guys. So check it out. Check it out, and we'll definitely make sure to put the link so that you can easily find it.
Perfect. Yeah. So again, Tyler, we thank you very much. Before you wrap up, do you want to share anything that you have going on? Let them know about your blog, where they can find it, and your social media. Let them know where you're at.
First of all, that sounds like an amazing resource. I'm like, I need to see if we have something like that for LA. I'm sure we do. So y'all make sure you check that out. But if you want to check anything out regarding Thrifts and Tangles, I have a website. It's called thriftsandtangles.com. I'm on YouTube under Thrifts and Tangles, and I'm on Instagram under Thrifts and Tangles. And if you really have no idea how to start thrifting, I have a thrift guide available on my website. It's a downloadable. It's the ultimate guide to thrift shopping. It gives some of the best thrift stores to shop at. It gives some of my top 10 tips. I don't even know. And then it gives a checklist of items that you need to take with you when you go thrifting. And it's a ton of other pages of resources there too. So if you don't know where to start, I have that. And then check out my ethical brand directory as well. If you are looking for places to shop sustainably.
I love that. Awesome. Yes, thank you.
Please check her out. Go follow. Make sure you subscribe to all of her platforms as well, because she's awesome.
And she's super cute.
Yeah, I know. Like,
check out her YouTube.
Of course she's a model. Duh. If not, I would have questioned, why not? So what we're not going to do?
What we're not fitting to do is keep depleting the earth of all of its resources without making small changes that we can easily do and give back a little.
Absolutely. So play yourselves. Don't play us or this world. We need it, and for our children.
Yes, raising the future out here.
Yes. Stop. So until next time.
Bye.